They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we are so fond of saying, each and every Tuesday, almost said Monday, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one rolls our way, and you'll have the opportunity to try it all over again. We start today's show talking about weather. If you have been so fortunate over the last, 3-4 days, not to have to set foot outside of your house, well, first of all, I ain't mad at you. God bless you. Second, triple-digit heat indexes will continue this week. Heat index today is expected to be between 100 and 105 degrees this afternoon. That's all. Yeah, still early though, Marty, still early. Obviously, we are being advised to use caution for those that work out of doors, recreate, et cetera, et cetera. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Unfortunately, the chance of rain or the rain coverage for today is only going to be around 30%, meaning if we get rain today, only about 30% of us will be so fortunate. As a result, and of course this time of year, we typically think, okay, only a 30% chance of rain, only 30% coverage, not going to be that bad. But if you've been around for a while, you know full well that even with just a 30% coverage, those that get rain, there is the distinct possibility that rain could well be severe. It is that time of year where these pop-up showers, when they happen, can happen with a pretty strong magnitude. So govern yourselves accordingly in that regard. Heat stroke, a very real possibility this time of year here in South Louisiana. And some experts say that sunburn, severe UV exposure, heat stroke can occur in less than 15 minutes. And, you know, a lot of us like to think my body's acclimated to it. It's South Louisiana. I live here. I know, what to expect this time of year. Well, that may be true to whatever extent, But at the end of the day, typically for many of us, by the time we realize it, we are already in the danger zone. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Those of you that work out of doors already know this. But for the rest of us that are fortunate enough to earn our livings indoors, many times we don't think about it until we find ourselves at that point. If you find yourself engaged in outdoor activities and all of a sudden you just happen to notice, I'm not sweating anymore, that's a sign. That's a danger zone that you've entered into. And obviously, the way to offset all of that is to be sure that you stay hydrated. That's not the worst part of our weather news. If you have been keeping an eye on the tropics, you know that there is a good chance that in mid to late this week, we may well be looking at a problem in the Gulf. This disturbance, as it is characterized right now, has about a 70% chance of developing into a tropical depression in the next 5 days. Whether or not it develops into hurricane or not, experts are already telling us this is going to be a rainmaker. Regardless of what level of development occurs, we will be dealing with tropical showers and storms behind all of this. As a matter of fact, I saw just this morning for coastal Louisiana, if all goes as forecasters think it could go, worst case scenario, you're talking 10 inches of rain falling with this system. Further inland in the capital region, if it were to impact us directly, you're talking anywhere from 5 to 6 inches of rain. And while you may say, well, 5 inches, not that bad, keep in mind the amount of water that we already have still standing in many communities, lakes, bayous, reservoirs, things of that nature. You add an additional 5 or 6 inches of rain to that, and now we find ourselves with another major problem on our hands. Now is the time to get prepared, and I would like to think this time of year here in South Louisiana, particularly on the heels of the flood event that we went through just a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have to tell folks, now's the time to start making preparations. But understanding how crazy life is these days with COVID and everything else, getting back to work, yada, yada, blah, 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 we may not be thinking in that regard. Now is the time to start making preparations. Hopefully, this thing will avoid South Louisiana in its entirety. And I say that cautiously because, being a South Louisiana boy, many times we see these disturbances and the first thing we say to ourselves is, God, I hope this thing doesn't come this way. But when you say that, that means it's going someplace else. Were it not for the flooding that we experienced recently, I might be singing a different tune. But when all is said and done, this is one of those things that you and I have no control over. All we can do is make sure that we are prepared for whatever eventuality comes our way. Speaking of weather, I think back maybe 3 weeks or so ago, and I mentioned to you guys and girls that before you know it, we would be entertaining triple-digit heat indexes, and before you knew it, we would find ourselves having to be on our guard in protecting the most vulnerable in our society, our children and our seniors. And sadly, we have now reported the first incident of a child dying after being left in a hot car. Iberia Parish, a 2-year-old, now dead after being left in a hot car for 2 hours. This is reading from WBRZ's website, the ABC affiliate News 2 here in Baton Rouge. The incident occurred Monday afternoon around 2 p.m. on the 700th block of Fox Road. The child was pronounced dead on the scene by the Iberia Parish Coroner's Office. The circumstances surrounding the toddler's death are currently under investigation by detectives from the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office. According to kidsandcars.org, this is the first child to die in a hot car in Louisiana in 2021 and is the fourth child nationwide to die in a hot car. I am not going to even consider casting judgment one way or another. I know if you are like me, you wonder how it is a parent or parents lose track of a 2-year-old for 2 hours. Understanding at that age, they are prone to get into anything at any time. And to not know where a child is of that age for 2 straight hours is something many of us have a hard time wrapping our minds around. Now, that being said, in today's world, with COVID, violence, and all the other things that people are dealing with these days, I just don't want to go there in casting a negative dispersion on someone that God only knows what they're dealing with in their lives. But the fact of the matter is, it's that time of the year, y'all. It's South Louisiana, triple-digit heat indexes, and quite frankly, it doesn't take anywhere near 2 hours for this to happen, particularly when you're talking about the body of a child. They have yet to develop to the point where they are able to deal with heat stress like older adults, teenagers, etc. can. It is something that we've become far too familiar with in South Louisiana. It is something that, for my money, is far too avoidable to continue to happen. Hopefully, this will be the only time that we will have to visit this year in South Louisiana. All we can do is hope, and of course, try, parents, to develop a routine such that your child will not be the next one to suffer this horrific fate. I get it. I understand. Life is hectic. Life is busy. But the fact of the matter is, those children didn't ask to come here. And we owe them the responsibility of keeping them safe. Guys, girls, govern yourselves accordingly. First break of today's show. We'll come back and talk more Louisiana news when we continue the Clarence Bugg Show here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. You know, it truly is a different day. There are certain things that we equate with certain times of the year. We just finished talking about children dying after being left in hot cars, and of course, obviously, we automatically equate that to summer here in South Louisiana. We also typically equate extra safety when going to and from one's car with Christmas. Going to the mall, going to department stores, strip malls, whatever. Law enforcement typically advises us this time of year you've got to be more aware of your surroundings than any other time of the year. Well, if ever you doubted the authenticity of the saying, it is a different day, recent press release from Louisiana's Attorney General, Jeff Landry, is warning Louisiana residents to be aware of your surroundings more so than ever now, following a spike of carjackings in our state. All across the country, unless you've been, totally out of the loop, off planet, living under a rock or whatever, you know that crime is on the increase. And sadly, Louisiana is not immune. AG Attorney General Jeff Landry is warning the millions of drivers in Louisiana to be on the lookout. Quote, crime is on the rise and carjackings are plaguing our state. All drivers here must remain vigilant in protecting our families and personal belongings. End of quote. In the New Orleans area, according to the City Council's crime dashboard, carjackings have increased 120.6% compared to this time a year ago. Through the first 5 months of 2021, 120 incidents of carjackings were reported. Attorney General Landry is asking you to consider adopting to your everyday routine the following safety tips. Number 1, when you approach your car, have your phone stored and your keys in hand, and look around and inside your car before getting in. Number 2, park in well-lit areas clearly visible to the public. If possible, keep your car at home in a garage and always lock the garage door at home. This is an obvious one. Number 3, never leave valuables in plain sight. If possible, leave all personal property in the trunk of a car. And the last one, something that I would think we would have all have learned many, many years ago, trust your instincts. Lock your doors of the vehicle as soon as you get in your car. And be wary of individuals approaching your car. Listen, I understand full well that it speaks volumes about our society that we even have to have this discussion. But the fact of the matter is, this is the reality of the times in which we live. And while it says a lot about us that something as simple as going to the grocery store, going to pick up your kids from soccer practice, football practice, whatever, could easily end up with you finding yourself in a life-threatening situation. It speaks volumes about what we have become as a society. But at the end of the day, we want everyone to make it home alive. And as you well know, things go south so quickly these days. There was a time in this country where, something like a carjacking, as horrific as it was, very seldom, if ever, would it result in a fatality. Nowadays, God only knows what can happen in that split second when someone approaches your vehicle, pulls a gun, and demands your keys. It is a sad state of affairs. But that being said, you are the one that is responsible for your safety. You are the one that is responsible for the safety of those in your vehicle. And you are the one that is responsible for taking steps to minimize your exposure to something of this nature. When all is said and done, the responsibility rests solely on us. And we can gripe and moan and complain all day long about, I can't believe I got to be watching everywhere and looking at this, that, and the other, and all I want to do is get in my car and go about my business. You can gripe and moan and complain, or you can take steps to protect yourself. And speaking of protecting yourself and driving, at some point, y'all, we've got to wake the hell up and start doing better. There was a time in this country where parents knew inside and out who their children's friends were and who their parents were. It's a different day, y'all. For example, little old Laplace, Louisiana. Small town most of us only know as a small town outside of New Orleans. Typically, if you're like me, other than before the interstate was built, Laplace was the place going down 190, you would look for the big sign announcing the snake farm. That's all we knew about Laplace. A couple of nice places to stop and get a burger, go on about your business. Laplace, like so many other small towns in Louisiana and America, finds itself dealing with problems that not so very long ago we used to think were unique to big cities. Recently, homeowners in a subdivision noticed a group of people walking around pulling on car doors. And you know that's a sign that they're looking for stuff to steal out of cars. So they call the police. Police respond. Fortunately, they were given a description of the vehicle that this group of individuals were in. Sure enough, St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff's deputies on patrol see a car that fits the description. So they light it up. Lights, siren, etc., etc. The vehicle takes off at a high rate of speed, running stop signs, running up on the curb, almost crashing. After the chase, they're able to box the car in. Come to find out, and this is 3:30 in the freaking morning, the driver is a 13-year-old female. The other 4 passengers in this vehicle, I'm pretty sure they knew, were in a stolen car, 3:30 in the morning, looking for cars to burglarize. The remaining 4 occupants in the vehicle, 15 and 16 years of age. Can you imagine how horribly wrong this could have ended? Fortunately, after St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff's deputies boxed this car in and ordered the occupants out of the car, fortunately, they all complied. Parents, you got to know where your children are. 3:30 in the morning, a 13-year-old female driving a stolen vehicle with 4 other juveniles going around looking for cars to burglarize. Fortunately, it didn't end the way it could have ended. And of course, had this all gone horribly wrong, it would have been the police that would have gained the lion's share of the blame. Listen, I understand. Well, I let my kids go to such and such a house and I thought their parents were going to watch them. Well, those are your kids. They're not this parent's children. Y'all, you've got to know who your children's friends are and who their parents are. And for God's sake, if it's someone that has no idea their children are out at 3:30 in the morning, riding around in a stolen car, looking for other cars to burglarize, you need to find some new friends for your children. At the end of the day, a 13-year-old driving a stolen car with 4 other juveniles as they ride around looking to steal other people's property is not going to end well. It's not. And for those involved, parents, you better put the fear of God in these kids, because if you don't, it's not going to end well. It is not going to end well. And when it does go south, don't look to point the finger of blame over here, over there, over yonder. You'll have to look no further than in the mirror. Where's all the sergeants of the world when we really need them? Bottom of the hour break. We'll get it done. Come back and talk more right where you've got it on the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. By the way, we record the show live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10655 Coursey Boulevard. It is Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. If you've not been by as of yet, my friends, you are truly living a deprived life. Come on by, great group of people here, absolutely amazing food, and they would love nothing more than to see your smiling face come walking through the door. It is not the way I think any LSU baseball fan wanted the Paul Mainieri era to end. It was a sad ending to a very accomplished career for Coach Mainieri. We all knew heading into the Super Regional that our Tigers had more than their fair share of work cut out for them. We all knew that. But, you know, being Tiger fans, we are who we are. We do what we do. And watching how the team had gotten on this roll in the Oregon Regional, we all had high hopes and understanding as well that this was the end of the era after Paul Mainieri announced his retirement. We were all hoping for one last run in Omaha. Well, as is the case in any athletic competition, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And it just was not in the cards, pure and simple. But leaving Louisiana State University with a national championship in his back pocket, walking away from coaching with the third highest winning percentage in the history of the Southeast Conference is nothing to sneeze at. No word just yet from the administration in the athletic department as far as who the front runner may be to replace Paul Mainieri. But I got to imagine this is one of the most attractive college coaching jobs in all of America. When you take into account the facilities that the new coach will inherit, when you take into account the talent that young talent, I may add, that the new coach will inherit, and take into account the absolute number of rabid LSU baseball fans that the new coach will inherit, I've got to imagine this is as attractive a job as any you will find in any sport in all of America in the collegiate ranks. I just hope that whoever the new coach happens to be, that this coach will understand you are coming to a place that is like no other. You are coming to a place where people will eat anything that doesn't eat us first. You are coming to a place where national championships are expected every time around. And I hope, whoever the new coach happens to be, that if things don't go as well initially as you would like them to, that you don't take it personal, because LSU fans will let you know how they feel. They have no hesitation, no reservation at all in letting you know what's on their minds. But count that as a positive attribute. Why? Because that's how much they love this university. That's how much they love this program. And at the end of the day, the new coach will also inherit a fan base that will do any and everything within their power to help the program succeed. In a lot of campuses across America, college baseball is a take it or leave it proposition. In many programs all across the country, losing at baseball, nobody really cares. Let me tell you for the record, right up front, that ain't the case in Baton Rouge, y'all. That is not the case. When you look into the outfield at the box and you see the Intimidator, all the national championship banners that are there in the box, there's a reason. You don't get those without pushing for excellence. You don't get those without a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice. You don't get those without a fan base that cares dearly about the program. And the new coach, whomever it is, we will welcome you with open arms. We will give you the shirt off our back. We will give you the last scoop of jambalaya in the pot. But you got to win, son. When all is said and done, you are going to have to win. Additionally, and say what you will about the difference between baseball and football. Say what you will about the difference between basketball and baseball. And all of those things will probably be true. But we also expect, in addition to you winning, we also expect that you are a maker and a molder of men. National championships are fine. It has its place. And at the end of the day, that's why you play the game. You want to be the best there is. But for my money, I will take every single day of the week. I'll take a team that finishes second, but ends up finishing first in life every single time. I would rather a team that finishes second and I never, ever have to worry about scandal. I never, ever have to worry about them embarrassing my beloved Louisiana State University. And I never, ever have to worry about whether or not the media is going to paint us in a certain light. I know baseball is characterized as the thinking man's game. And typically, young people who find themselves so fortunate enough to play, typically, more so than other sports, and you take that for what it is, understand when you put on that uniform, you're not just representing yourself, but you're representing your parents, the coaching staff, the university, and the people of this fine state. So whoever it is that the university decides is best suited to guide this program after the pulmonary era now officially has come to an end, just know we will welcome you with open arms. But there are a whole lot of expectations in store. And listen, I wouldn't doubt, I wouldn't mind it in the least, and I won't hold it against you if you say, man, I don't know if I could coach there. Them folks, them fans over there, they're crazy. They're just beyond belief in supporting that school. I wouldn't be mad at you if you turned it down. Just know, if you take the job, there are expectations aplenty. And we will let you know if you fall short. Just saying. There's a darling lady standing at the bar here at Bayou Smokehouse. And just now she gave me one of those. That's right. That's right. No two ways about it. Said what, Bill? I can't hear her all the way up here. Wow. Her grandfather and Huey Long wrote the beloved fight song for our own LSU Tigers. Talk about a small world. You see, you never know what you're going to get when you tune in to the Clarence Bugg Show or when you walk through the doors at Bayou Smokehouse. You never know. Speaking of coaching, did not get to mention this last week when the news broke. And speaking of commitment to winning at LSU, it was announced that, and I hope I don't butcher her name. If I do, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. Coach Kim Mulkey announcing that she is reuniting with Satya Messer, an associate head coach for LSU basketball. Ms. Messer coached on Kim Mulkey's staff for the final 8 years of her 21-year run at Baylor. The Lady Bears, during that time, posted a record of 260 wins and 23 losses. Won 8 Big 12 regular season championships, 6 conference tournament titles, captured an NC2A national championship, and made it to the Elite 8 6 times. She will work, Ms. Messer will, with all positions on the floor, as well as overseeing scouting and recruiting. By the way, talk about apparently a beast when it comes to recruiting. During her time at Baylor, Ms. Messer helped the Lady Bears sign the nation's #1 recruiting class both in 2016 and 2018, as well as the #4 nationally ranked recruiting classes on 2 other occasions. Obviously, and I know she will accept this in the spirit that it's given, that's a bad girl. And welcome to Baton Rouge, Satia Messer. We are so happy to have you. And if memory serves correct, she's a Louisiana girl on top of that. So the news just keeps getting better and better and better. And hopefully, in the very near future, we'll have more good news for the baseball program as well. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at TeamAutoUse.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. I just found out mere seconds ago that I am still in the land of the living. Mere seconds ago, I found out that I'm still in the land of the living. Very distinguished gentleman happened to stop by Bayou Smokehouse just now and saw us doing the show, and he's like, dude, I thought you were gone. I'm like, well, I'm gone from the radio. He's like, no, I thought you were dead. Nope, still here, buddy, still here. And yeah, last time I checked, hang on a second. Yep, still here. You know, when you find yourself in the middle of something, many times it's hard to get a true appreciation for the reality of what you're in. The old adage is sometimes you can be too close to the forest to see the trees, right? And in recent memory, many of us have watched with utter disdain what is happening in higher education in America. The whole woke attitude, the whole approach of teaching what is good or failing to teach what is good about America has many of us as conservatives seriously perplexed. And many times when we say something about it, we're demonized, we're castigated, we're called all kinds of ugly names, and you know, you see it time after time after time after time. It's become a part of all things Americana. But I saw this story over the weekend, and it said to me, if anybody should know, this person should know. And God bless her, she's calling us out in this regard. If I butcher the name, it's Bill Profita's fault. Because I specifically asked him prior, what would you say his name is? And what would you say, Bill? Yomi. Y-E-O-N-M-I. Yomi Park. Defected from North Korea back in 2007. After defecting, she moved to South Korea and then moved to the United States of America. After arriving here, she wanted to further her education. So she enrolled at Barnard College and then later transferred to Columbia University. Now, for those of you that don't know, Columbia, Ivy League school. When you start talking premier universities in the United States of America, you will hear names like Harvard and Yale and Columbia and Brown, and the list goes on and on. After enrolling at Columbia in 2016, Ms. Park noticed something that she didn't expect. Quote, I was expecting that I was paying this fortune to attend Columbia. All this time and energy, I was expecting to learn how to think. But they are forcing you to think the way they want you to think. I realized, wow, this is insane. I thought America was different, but I saw so many similarities to what I saw in North Korea that I started worrying. It continues. English is my third language. I learned it as an adult. Sometimes I still say he or she by mistake, and now they're going to ask me to call them they. How the heck do I incorporate that into my sentences? It was chaos. It felt like the regression in civilization. Here's the rub. The quote continues, even North Korea is not this nuts. North Korea was pretty crazy, but not this crazy. Ms. Park also warns that education institutions in America are hindering students' abilities to think for themselves. Quote, in North Korea, I literally believe that my dear leader, Kim Jong-un, was starving. He's the fattest guy. How can anyone believe that? And then somebody showed me a photo and said, look at him. He's the fattest guy. Other people are all thin. And I was like, oh my God, why did I not notice that he was fat? Because I never learned to think critically. This is what's happening in America. People are seeing things, but they've just completely lost the ability to think critically. Sometimes you truly can be too close to the forest to see the trees. Of course, now, you don't have to worry about that when you tune in to the Clarence Bug Show, because as I've told you for years and years and years, I'll never tell you what to think, but guaranteed I'll make you think. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, that you think. Now, some of y'all not going to get that till later, but that's okay as long as you get it. My time's up. Got to make way for Bill Profita and the Exiles. But this day, just like any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you. And you know I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other. We'll do it tomorrow. God bless.